Hi there, and welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, we'll be learning quadratic equations, and under quadratic equations, we'll be learning to form equations from roots. Okay, forming equations from roots. Now, as the lesson progresses, if you have any issues at all, anything comes of us unclear, please feel free to get in touch. Okay, we would be more than happy to help. All right, let's jump right into the lesson. So quadratic equations, forming equations from roots. Now, we're often required to form quadratic equations from roots, okay, from their roots. And the roots of a quadratic equation are the answers you get when you solve a quadratic equation. So if you solve a quadratic equation, you get x equals this and x equals that. The two answers you get are called what we refer to as the roots of said quadratic equation. Now, given the quadratic equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, let's assume we solve this quadratic equation. Now we got two answers, we got two roots. The roots of this quadratic equation, x equals alpha and x equals beta. Now, from the factorization method, we established that a quadratic, basically the quadratic expression is the product of x minus alpha and x minus beta. Okay, and basically if we expand that out, we have ax squared plus bx plus c equaling x squared minus alpha x minus beta x plus alpha beta. And then we work that out and we have the x squared, ax squared plus bx plus c equals x squared minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha beta. Now from this information, if we compare both, if we compare the two expressions we have there, we have that a is unity, okay, and b is minus alpha plus beta. Okay, so we have plus bx equals minus alpha plus beta x, and we have c equals alpha beta. So basically you have x squared minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha beta, and this is what we would be applying. Basically, if you're given the roots of a quadratic equation and you're looking to form the quadratic equation from the roots, you use this formula. You have x squared minus the sum of the roots, x, plus the product of the roots, and we just go ahead and solve a few examples. All right, so we have find the quadratic equation whose roots are minus 8 and 5. So we have x squared minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha beta equals 0. That's our formula, and we're just going to put alpha as minus 8 and beta as 5. So alpha is minus 8 and beta is 5, and we put that into that formula. We have x squared minus 8 plus 5x plus minus 8 times 5 equals 0, and we solve all of that out. Minus 8 plus 5 is minus 3, multiplied by x is minus 3x, so we have x squared minus 3x minus 40 equals 0, and we end up with x squared plus 3x minus 40 equals 0. And that is your quadratic equation. And if you solve this quadratic equation, x squared plus 3x minus 40 equals 0, you would end up with the answers x equals minus 8 and x equals 5. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's do another example. Example 2. And example 2 says find the quadratic equation whose roots are minus 2 over 3 and 3. And just in the same, following the same process, basically we have x squared minus alpha plus beta x plus alpha beta equals 0. And we have in this case alpha as minus 2 over 3 and beta as 3. And we're just going to put that into our formula there, or into our equation there. And we have x squared minus 2 over 3 plus 3x plus minus 2 over 3 times 3 equals 0. And then basically we have that x squared minus 7 over 3x minus 2 equals 0. Now we could leave our answer like this, but then we'll just go ahead and multiply through by 3. So we have a better looking quadratic equation, and we end up with a quadratic equation 3x squared minus 7x minus 6 equals 0. Now, finally, one more example, example 3. And example 3 says identify the sum and products of the roots of the quadratic equation 2x squared plus x minus 6 equals 0. Okay, so we have a quadratic equation here, and then we're looking to find the sum and products of the roots. Now you could go ahead and solve the full quadratic equation and get your the roots of the quadratic equation, and then go ahead and find the sum of your roots and the product of your roots, or you could just apply this formula. Okay, and basically we have a quadratic equation, and the first thing we want to do is we want to express this with a as unity. So we go ahead and divide through by 2. So we have x squared plus 1 over 2x minus 3 equals 0. Okay, and once we've done that, we can now go ahead and compare our quadratic equation to the equation we have in step 1 there, and basically we have that minus alpha plus beta is 1 over 2. Okay, we're looking to find the sum of the roots, and I believe you'd agree with me that the sum of the roots alpha plus beta dividing both sides by minus 1 would equal minus 1 over 2. And then for the product of the roots, basically we have that alpha beta is minus 3. Okay, and yeah, that's pretty much it, and that will bring us to the end of this lesson. Very simple lesson, and yeah, bye for now.